Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Network. Getting excited. We got a great weekend of sports coming up here on Proview Sports. Yaffle football is going through their playoffs. Got a few games there. Obviously, we have the high school action going on. Number 1 versus number 2. Can you dig it? That's going to be a heck of a game there. I'll tell you what, we got a lot of things going on here at Proview Sports. We also can, as far as sports-wise, here on Red Menace TV, talk a little bit about Lobos had probably their best victory or their best game of the season thus far as they played the Air Force Academy last Saturday night there at Dreamstyle Stadium. And on a rainy, very rainy, cold, lightning-filled night, Richard McQuarrie went off 5 touchdowns, matching a Lobo record. Also, just the way that the team played was just crazy and outrageous as both offense and defense came to play, and they played well. I know the final score makes it look kind of like a shootout, but really I thought the Lobo defense played really well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We also might get into a little bit of the aftermath as Lobos did a Lewinsky and took a knee. Certain Lobo players did, and some of the shock, or I guess shock isn't the word, some of the anger displayed by many Lobo fans that basically are throwing their tickets away after this. So we might talk a little bit about that if we have time. Unfortunately, you got me solo today because Michael Carlisle's on his way to UFC 1 million or 5. I don't even. Isn't it time for them to come up with names with those like UFC, this battle and blah 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 blah? I don't know. So we can talk a little bit about that. Also, the sad news coming out of Las Vegas itself, as that's where Michael Carlisle's headed. What happened this Sunday with the shooting the mass murdering that went on there. Very heartbreaking to see that, and some of the heroes that came out of that, police officers and individuals that put themselves in harm's way to save others. Nothing's greater an individual that someone will put their life on the line for someone else. So mad props to the heroes and mad props to the police officers that did what they had to do in light of a horrific situation. My thoughts and prayers go out to the families and to the victims of that situation, and just it's heartbreaking to hear that. But we're here to talk sports. We're also going to have Micah Frankel on. He's going to have a guest, and we talk a little bit about some MMA as well. I don't know if he's got some boxing news or not. You never know with Micah. He's always got all kinds of combat stuff going on, combat sports stuff going on in his mind. So we'll pick his caged mind as well. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with Micah Frankel, and then we'll do some Lobo talk after that right here on Red Menace TV.
The flag will come out. Gum holds on to it.
Steal the 5 steps up. Got time. Dog on run up the middle. Got a block. Throws. Complete to Garcia. Garcia 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. 48-yard pass. Wow. Marcus Steele.
He's got his guy, and it's complete. A foot race down the near sideline. To the 10, to the 5, and in. Touchdown, racing in. Gonna go down the middle at the 5, a cut to the end zone. Touchdown. Diving in.
Steele rolls to a left under pressure. Should have get rid of it. Sack. Goes in. Oh, man. What a hit. Yeah, because they have 3 different options every time they run that end action. Cleveland's got it with a lot of room. He is gone. And he's gone. Christopher Thomas. No, the recovered going in. missed that one. He's got one more man to beat. He's down the sideline. Can anybody chase him? I don't think so. That's Aiden Shipman in for the touchdown. Carpenter on the little jet sweep, looking for the right edge. He might find it here. Whoa, nice cut. He's got one man left down there. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. That's going to be a touchdown for Cale Cox-Liggins. Wow. 63 yards on the touchdown for Cox-Liggins.
Trips up high for Nolan. Looking, he's got time. Gonna fire down the middle, and it's caught. Touchdown.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened. Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Duke City Sports Bar. Proud supporter of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Catch all the sports action from high school, college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Start your night off right with any selection from our delicious menu prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Duke City Sports Bar, Albuquerque's newest sports bar. Located on Eubank and Montgomery, dial 505-433-4020.
VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Caged Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. This weekend was another big weekend in combat sports. If you have the opportunity on YouTube, check out the Lion Fight 38 highlights. Muay Thai, the Art of 8 Limbs, was on display on Access TV. It was a great night of fights. A bunch of stoppages. I'm talking about liver punches, head kicks, and spinning back elbows. So go check that out. It was a lot of fun Friday night. Saturday, you had Glory Kickboxing on ESPN 3 and on UFC Fight Pass. Big highlight from there, Michael Dunt runs through a 4-man tournament unlike any other that we've seen. In a combined 48 seconds, wins 2 fights, left hook knockouts. A big win as he'll move on to a light heavyweight title fight. And Roman Van Roosmalen is still the Glory featherweight champion. Go to cageminds.com to see your Glory results. We also have results for Countries Collide. We had boxing up at Buffalo Thunder. It was a crazy night, and to help me talk about it, we'll welcome in my guest now, who's going to be in action November 11th, Battle for the Brave, presented by Legacy Promotions. Let's welcome in now the Diamond Boy, Matthew Griego. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you. It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
So, real quick touch on that. It's been 6 months, right?
Yes, since my last fight.
So are you like chomping at the bit to get back to action? How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go. I feel like I'm eating a bone, and I'm still eating on just a bone. I need to get in there and get to work.
And then, as we said, there was a local event this weekend. What does that do to get your juices flowing? Seeing people that you've competed alongside for quite a while now in action.
It gets me pumped. I mean, Jose Osorio, he won a big fight. Our camp, we helped him get ready too. We were sparring and stuff like that. He got the W. He was supposed to lose, supposedly, and he went in there and got the W. He did really well, so it pumps me up, ready to go in there and show some action as well.
He took on a heavy hitter, Argentina's Ramon Reynoso, and Jose Osorio, who was our guest recently here on the show. He performed spectacularly. His right uppercut was money, and it was something that Reynoso could never get the beat on. Reynoso, he slowed down, he loaded up on his shots, he looked for the knockout, and I got some rumors that said in between the 6th to 7th round, he wanted to quit, but his corner talked him back into going out there and competing, made it to the decision. Did you see any of the highlights from the fight?
I actually didn't see too much of the highlights, but I heard a lot of what happened, and I know in the first round, I guess Jose Osorio got caught.
He got
caught with a shot he didn't see, and Jose Osorio, I mean, he's a Mexican. He's a fighter. I knew he would come back and win, and he's just a fighter. He came in, and I guess he put on a show. I heard it was kind of close, but there was no doubt that Jose Osorio had won the fight, and I heard it was really exciting.
It was a volume of his punches against the raw ferocity and power that Reynoso was putting it together. So was it close? It was close, but you could see as the fight went on, those power shots didn't really have it, so you have to give it to the volume. So I thought it was really kind of an overwhelming performance for Osorio. Having been part of that camp, seeing him sparring, what did you hear about the game plan, what their thoughts were heading into that fight?
Well, I knew Reynoso was the shorter fighter, so we had different guys. I mean, me, of course, I'm kind of short myself, so we helped him out with the sparring. He looked really good. He's strong, in great shape. I've never seen him so ripped, I think, for a weigh-in, so I didn't really hear too much of the game plan. They kind of keep that to themselves, but whatever it was, they went in there and executed.
And then also another big one of the night was Gabriel Gutierrez pulling out a split decision win over Antonio Tomo Martinez. I took exception to this fight because Martinez got battered in the first round, got cut on the bridge of his nose, his left eye was cut under it, and there was massive swelling. The doctor checked him out in between the first and second rounds, but then I got a real concern for fighter safety as the damage progressively got worse. You could tell he could not see out of the right eye, he had no beat on it, the right uppercut of Gutierrez was landing all night long. And we never saw a doctor step in the ring again. We didn't see the doctor want to step in the ring, so I blame the doctor. I didn't see the referee calling for the doctor. So in some controversial fashion, Gutierrez takes a split decision, more because I don't think the fight should have lasted that long. I'm really kind of appalled for what we saw from that commission in regards to fighter safety. As a fighter, I know there's a lot of emotions when you're in that ring. You're not going to stop it. How much does the commission, the doctor, the ref, need to take control of that environment? Because I understand the competitive juices. I don't believe that the fighter's going to stop, and I don't believe that the corner is in a position where they're going to stop their guy when they're that team and it's game day.
Yeah, as a corner, caring for your fighter, yes, you should stop it, but most times you're not going to stop it. There's always a chance that your fighter's going to go in there and get a KO, come back and win the fight. But the ref's job, the doctor's job is to keep both fighters safe, and if the job wasn't done, then the job wasn't done. There's nothing we can do about it now, but it should have been done. Somebody could have really gotten hurt in that ring.
And I more want to make a stink of it and a point of it because it's something to examine, to look back, because you can't correct history, but we can obviously improve on the next fight. And I mean, for boxing, the next fight, it looks like, is either going to be November 4th with School of Hard Knocks Promotions or your event November 11th. So I'd like to see guidelines followed and the safety of you guys, perform to the utmost authority that they can.
Yes, of course. I mean, like I said, the refs should step in when they need to step in. I mean, it's hard to kind of judge on when they should, but on how bad the fight was, from what I've heard, they should have stepped in and maybe stopped the fight. Hopefully no one was hurt really badly. I don't know what's going on with Tone or what's going on there, but hopefully everyone's okay, and hopefully for the next fights it'll be all right.
And I get on the referee and the doctor so much because, again, here at Proview Sports, we cover a lot of games: basketball, football, boxing, MMA, kickboxing. These are fights. These are dangerous things that these guys are going out and performing in. I mean, football, not to say it's not dangerous, but there's a lot more brutality that comes where a knockout is legal, and we just have to take that much more care of the fighters involved. Enough of my negativity. We'll move on to some good topics. Well, you came off your last main event. I mean, so let's be honest. What were the nerves like going in? Now that it's past you, what were the nerves like first main event spotlight as a pro?
It was good. I mean, I've been main event in amateur events, and I've always had a pretty big following, so it wasn't too much of a difference. I go in there, and I'm fully focused in on my opponent. I knew it was going to be a tough fight. That was my toughest fight so far of my pro career. He was really tough. He brought it, and I was more just focused on my fight. I was going in there to get the W, and I knew what I had to do, and I zone out everything else.
Boxing's almost like this pyramid because we talk about levels, and you keep moving up, next level. So that was a next level fight for you, seeing if you prepared for that next step. So in retrospect, looking back at it, what did that mean to you, successfully achieving that next level?
Oh, it means a lot. It showed me a lot of the fight too, because in some of my previous fights, sometimes I didn't even get hit. So in this fight, it showed me I could take a punch, because he landed some shots. I could take a punch, and I could also give it, and I'm not going to stop at someone catching me a little bit. I'm going to come forward, and I'm going to get that W. I could go in there and fight. The guy was tough. He was from Mexico. He took some hard shots. I thought I had him finish in the fourth, but he kept coming, and he had a lot of heart. He was a tough fighter, and it showed me a lot. I learned a lot from that fight. A fight going 6 rounds and a fight going 2 rounds. I mean, that 6-round fight I would take any day just because you learn from it.
Where did you gain in that experience level? That was the most minutes, the most rounds that you had racked up so far.
Well, it showed me that I could fight a hard 6 rounds going forward, and I could also, like I said, I could also take a punch. I could go in there in the spotlight at a main event and show my skills. I mean, I showed a lot of different things that night. A lot of people noticed I have a great jab. I have different skills that I could bring to the table besides just putting somebody down.
This event, November 11th at the Manuel Lujan Complex, is going to be Battle for the Brave. Real quick, second time in a row you're fighting on an event with some big meaning. Coming off of Rumble in the Rio, now Battle for the Brave. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, especially that we're fighting for our veterans. I really appreciate all their work that they do out in the field for us, and it means a lot to me. I want to go out there and put on a show for our veterans. It's really important that we go out there and do a great job on this show.
And then I know you always have your positive message that you're looking to get out there. Great wherewithal for a young athlete. I've seen you driven on the marketing side, on the community side. So got any positive messages now? I know we've seen more tragedy this week across the country.
Well, everybody just got to keep their head up. There's a lot of tragedies going on around the world, not only in Vegas, but Houston. There's everywhere in the world, there's a lot of negativity going on. You just got to look at the positive. I mean, there's a lot of positive going on as well. So you got to look at that and stay positive, keep your mind right, keep your head up, and everything's going to be all right. God bless everybody involved in that tragedy in Vegas. God bless everybody involved in tragedies, period. Let's all stick together, really.
And then, real quick for the fans, how can they keep up with you on social media? We can keep building that Diamond Boy following.
You can follow me on Instagram, Matt_the_boxer. Also on Facebook, Matthew Diamond Boy Griego. I have Snapchat, Matt_the_boxer. Follow me, and you'll see my progress going into this fight.
November 11th, Legacy Boxing Promotions, Battle for the Brave. Join us at the Manuel Lujan Complex, and more Red Menace TV with Leroy Lucero in just a moment.
Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience. Convenient parking and access will make the Hoops NM Basketball Center a premier facility for league play and competitive regional tournaments. With over 9,000 square feet, Hoops NM Basketball Center will take court sports play to another level in our community. Courts are regulation high school size with wood floors and seating for approximately 350 per court. Major sponsors and supporters are being assembled now. If you're interested, contact Dan Serrano at 505-249-7994. Send him an email, hoopsnm@aol.com. That's hoopsnm@aol.com. Hoops NM Basketball Center, a premier sports facility serving our community.
Looking for some exhilarating fun? It's at All Out Zone. All Out Zone showcases Nerf dart tag games from team elimination battles to human versus zombies, pitting 2 teams against each other in fun, organized chaos with trained referees, music, and a full arsenal of Nerf blasters. You need team parties, birthday parties. We can customize the party to fit your needs. Visit us at the Coronado Mall. Give us a call, 505-444-6964. All Out Zone.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa Auto parts, like brakes and batteries. I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service. And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time. Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Hey, welcome back. Michael Carlisle, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Carlisle. He's not talking too much today. He's just sitting there looking pretty. Thanks, guys. I needed a good laugh there. Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. I'll tell you what, we had a great game this past week. Of course, the Lobos are on bye week this week, which is good or bad. I don't know. Had a great game, 56-38 against the Air Force Academy last Saturday when Richard McQuarley scored 5 touchdowns, pacing the Lobos on that victory. It was an amazing game, actually, for the Lobo football team. I thought on both sides of the field, offensive and defensively. Plus, not only was Richard McQuarley one of the guys that really started. I thought Lamar Jordan also played really well. Lamar Jordan, who was under fire last week, there was talk about quarterback controversies and should he play, should he not play. He couldn't throw. He had a couple of really nice throws, including one to Delane Hart that we went for a touchdown. That was pretty solid. I think even though that Air Force scored 38 points, a lot of that was, I still think the defense for the Lobos played really well, put the Lobos in great position to walk the game home. Obviously, there was an excellent defensive effort. Special teams played really well. Corey Bajorquez also had some great punts. Jason Sanders coming off the other thing, he made his kicks. Everything seemed to be going the Lobos' way. Unfortunately, there was some inclement weather at the time. There was the thunder or the lightning thing that held the game back for an hour, or I'm sorry, letting people into the stadium for an hour. Then they held it again during the game at the end of the first quarter because there was lightning strikes within 8 miles. So they put the teams back in the locker room, and the fans that were there, obviously, they asked them to leave the field to play, and then they decided not to have a halftime. But let's just say what happened. All right, what overshadowed this game? Lobos have their greatest game of the season, but the Lobos can't ever have this kind of stuff going on, right? Every time something good happens for this program, there has to be a pile of crap that gets dumped on it. Whether it's Lobogate, whether it's Bliss, whether it's Loxley, whether it's getting rid of Rocky, whether it's now we have kneeling, guys kneeling during the national anthem, which shouldn't have even been played, and then the Davey, who's under fire prior to this because he already has been named and investigated and has a lawyer because he's been mean to the players, allegedly. Now they have a conference yesterday trying to justify why these players decided to take a knee. And Lobo fans are pissed. There's no other way to say it. They're angry. There's a lot of Lobo fans that are saying, look, I'm done with this program. I'm done with this team. I'm not going to go to games anymore. And I'll tell you what, I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. It's really tough for me to sit there and say I'm not going to say I'm not going to games again, because I know I will, because while there was 5 players that I think pulled a selfish, stupid publicity stunt, there was 95 other players that did not, and I can support those guys. But I'll tell you what, it is tough to go in there and know that this kind of crap is going on, and I'm just going to say it the way I feel it. And if people don't like it, that's tough. That's just the way it is. I know we live in a PC world, but we had officers that were shot and killed Sunday night in Las Vegas. We had an officer that was shot here locally just the other night. They have a picture floating where one of the bullets hit his badge and twisted that all up, but he still took a bullet. Yet we're going to take knees and everybody else, and we're going to sit there and support these guys. Look, get off your knees, especially when you're playing the Aggies, because you haven't beat them in 2 years. So get off your knees, Lobos, and play football. Do your job. That's what you're supposed to be doing. With that, as Red Menace TV, I'll see you next week. I'm out. God bless you all.